Hi everybody, it's Melody. So today I'm going to be doing a book review, and I realized that I've never done a book review before, so this is very new to me. So if I'm kind of stumbling over my words, please forgive me because I am not good at book reviews. I have never done one before, so let's find out if I'm good at them. Also, before I get too into the video, I want to discuss a schedule for my videos because I do not want a 3-month long gap like this one has been. I think this is the longest gap that I had between videos. So I'm going to come to a schedule twice a week, Monday and Thursday. I will be uploading videos. So that will, I think, help get me in gear. And if I break that schedule or like just can't get to uploading a video, I'm really sorry because believe me, I tried. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. The 3 books that I will be speaking about are the Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. Mainly Mockingjay though, because I just finished that a couple hours ago actually, today. And oh my goodness. Okay, so overall, the Hunger Games trilogy is amazing. I totally recommend these books. These are absolutely my favorite books. I had bought the Hunger Games for my friend Stephanie because it was her favorite book. And she raved and raved about that, and then one of my subscribers commented on the video where I showed it. It was kind of like a Christmas shopping haul or something like that, and she had told me that the Hunger Games was in fact a really, really good book. So I went ahead and bought it for myself as well, and then same with Catching Fire, and then I rented Mockingjay. The Hunger Games, I give it 10. This was an amazing book because of the passion and the romance and the thrills, not the thrillings, the thrills, and it was very emotional and it was just a very good book. It was very scary in some parts where I was in my bed, this bed, just completely bombarded by things that were happening. I mean, seriously, this is what I looked like when I was reading this. Oh my god. It was pretty ridiculous. I was laughing and crying and all that fun stuff. And so then I feel like it just kind of went downhill from Catching Fire. I did not like this book. This is my least favorite out of the series. Mainly because I did not like the way the government was going, which I guess I thought it was going to be portrayed a little bit differently, how the government was so mean and stuff like that. Does anyone else think, oh, okay, real quick, spoilers. Forgot about telling you guys about spoilers. There will be some in this video, I'm letting you know now. Okay, so if you're fine with spoilers, keep watching, please. Anyways, so, what was I saying? Oh, did anyone else think that President Snow and the Capitol reacted a little over the top or overreacted with the berries? Because I do. I think that President Snow took that way out of proportion. I would have been a little upset with Katniss and Peeta if that had happened to me, but I wouldn't have started some big rampage and sent Katniss back to the Court of Quell and threatened her in her own home and all that stuff that President Snow did. By the end of this book, I had an extreme disliking for President Snow because of how harsh and rude and mean he was to everyone. But that's not the point. So, back to Catching Fire. I really liked some of the characters that Suzanne Collins introduced. For example, I really liked Finnick, and I also really liked Mags, even though she didn't make it. I really liked her for some reason, and also, even though she was a little bit mean, I liked Johanna Mason. And yeah, so those 3 kind of stuck out to me, how I just really liked them for some reason, and then when Mags died, I almost cried. Actually, not really, but the amount of emotion in this book is intense. I was reading it the exact same way I was reading The Hunger Games, like you saw earlier. I was just bombarded with intense moment after intense moment after intense moment. She really does know how to entertain her readers, but I just feel like I didn't like this games as much. I didn't like the Quarter Quell games as I liked the Hunger Games, just the regular old Hunger Games. And I didn't like the plots, and I just didn't like how it went downhill. And then at the end, District 12 was blown up, and that just wasn't a good time for me, learning that District 12 had been blown to smithereens. But it is what it is. And then came Mockingjay. Yay! So, like I said, I had just finished Mockingjay. And oh, okay. I was extremely I don't know what the word to describe this, how I felt about this book. I was very disappointed. I was kind of bored throughout the whole thing until last couple chapters. Basically, this whole book is just a war going on, which I'm very loving. So I was a little upset throughout this book. I don't know. I could just really feel Katniss's emotions when she went back to District 12, and it was just an emotional time for her, and I felt that emotion, and I could feel her, not regret, her sorrow, I guess, for the people there that could not make the bombing, were just didn't make it through the bombing. That was President Snow's job. Remember when I said that I didn't like him in Catching Fire? I get, when Katniss said that she wanted to kill Snow, I was like, do it now, right now, make it happen, yeah. Anyways, so I was very bored throughout this whole thing, and then I didn't know where they were going with it. I mean, with Peeta gone, and Gail's, did anyone else feel like Gail's character changed throughout this book? I feel like he was a lot more meaner and just a rude guy in Mockingjay towards Katniss. He had no sympathy for her, and I guess Katniss was just as rude back, but still. I'd have to say my least favorite moment in this book was when Peeta had gotten hijacked, because there were moments in the book where I thought, okay, Peeta's gone, I'm gonna cry, because I was all for Peeta and Katniss being together throughout the entire series. And one of those two to live happily ever after, when he said, I'm in love with Katniss or whatever in the very first interview, I was just like, yes, they're gonna live happily ever after, it's a dream come true. Wait, but Katniss has to kill him? Never happened. Yeah. And then once Peeta was hijacked, I was like, great. Peeta's gone. Gale, swoop in. You know, happens. I don't know. I just feel like this book and all throughout, all two books, really portrayed the meanness that can still be in human society, I guess, the human race. Just this really shows through the Capitol and Katniss how humans can face off between good and bad, and just nice and mean, and just she portrays that so well between the Capitol and the districts, and this war going on throughout. And like, for example, what President Snow is doing to Peeta, and how Prim said it best, he has nothing against Peeta, he has nothing against Katniss once Peeta is dead. That's why he's torturing her right in front of Katniss' face, dangling Peeta right in front of her face. I was just devastated. And also, I think one thing that the worst thing about this book is the number of deaths. I think between Finnick and Boggs and Prim and who else died? There's so many people that died, and what was her name? Jackson. So many people were just dead, and then at the end, President Snow dies, which was awesome. But then Coin dies because Katniss shot them both. Um, it's just very. I don't know how to morbid, I guess. I did not like the number of deaths that occurred in this book. But the one thing that I absolutely positively loved about the ending was, or loved about this book, was the ending. I feel like Katniss is with Peeta, and they have kids in the epilogue, and just, I feel like Katniss would not have been a good match for Gale because they've known each other all their life. Yeah, he's big, he's strong, he's hot, what have you. But Peeta, I feel like, cares for Katniss a lot more than Gale actually does because he flat out says, I think it was this book, how he has a bunch of other girls that he could just like kiss around and stuff. Whereas Peeta, his eyes are for Katniss and for Katniss only. So that's why I feel like Peeta is a much better match for Katniss, and I just don't like how Katniss was treating Peeta throughout the process, but finally in the end she sees that Peeta is the one for her, and they get married and they live happily ever after, and this whole series is just amazing with how much it pulled on my heart. My emotions were going crazy throughout the whole series, and yeah, so please leave your thoughts and comments on the Hunger Games trilogy, and yeah, I'm all worked up inside. I might not have been screaming or whatever, but I'm very just, I love this book and I'm really sad that it's over. I'm really excited for the movie. If you haven't seen the trailer, go watch it. I'll post a link in the underbar for it so you can watch it yourselves. And yeah, it's coming out March 23rd, 2011, and I can't wait to see Katniss and Gale and Peeta and Haymitch and all those people come to life. And yeah, so thank you everyone, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.